Hi, everyone. I'm Glenn Swift. Been a mentor now for 8 years. I go back. I was a professor at UT and entrepreneurship. And one of our classes did a project with Chrissy, the mayors, Tim, and Randy on the future of a program at the time called tnAchieves, and which later translates into tnAchieves. Wonderful program. Glad to be a part of it. Who am I? Grew up in West Tennessee, very small town of Decaturville, Tennessee. Thankful for those that mentored me along the way. Mainly my grandmother was my role model, and then later in life, my wife. Been married now, 56 years. Same woman. I'm very blessed. Went to school at Lambeth College, Memphis State, Rutgers, Georgia State, got an MBA in Georgia State, and then on to Yale in their graduate program later years. But can't say enough good things about being a mentor. It's an opportunity for me to give back. As I use that old saying, my three phases of my life are learning, earning, and now returning. I'm clearly in the returning phase, and I can't think of a better way to do this than aspiring young high school students, which are the lifeblood for the future of our great state of Tennessee. So that's kind of, Tyler, who I am, what I do. I'd be glad to chat more. In my case, I was blessed to have some very talented uncles that helped me with my career. My grandmother was the inspiration, of course. My pastor was a mentor along the way. And then over the years, as I've met people, I went on to enjoyed 35 wonderful years of corporate world at AT&T and valued the mentorship I got along the way there. But I give it all back to early days of kind of figuring out, of dreaming and aspiring. I didn't see myself. I wasn't very good at picking cotton in West Tennessee, and so I knew I had to find out some better career than being growing up on the farm there. Even though I love the farm life, so people that will take the time to, and to me, that there's a distinction between coaches, mentors, champions. Coaches, we'll always know who our coaches are. I played sports. They would tell me, stand like this, hit the ball like this. So they observed me all the time. Then there's the mentors who I viewed their role to help me get from where I am now, which at the time was a high school person, to where I wanted to be and successful in life, family. So the mentors are there to help you get from where you are to where you want to be, and you will know them. The ones you won't know are those champions. There's people you're going to meet along life's journey that I would call champions, and they see you engaged, they see you doing things, and they're so impressed that they're willing to help make your career progress. You may or may not know who your champions are, so it's always good when something happens exciting and breathtaking for your life and your career to try to figure out who made that possible. And so chances are there's a person, and I call them champions. Like I said, I was blessed to work with Christy back then and my students, and we just had such a wonderful time. And the vision that she and the others had put together at the time for Knox County, and tnAchieves was the name. And as I remember right, we could check with Christy, but I think we were trying to get 500 students that aspired to go on to college that would qualify for this program called tnAchieves, which was crafted very uniquely and is still very unique today. It's the last dollar of paid. So you exhaust all the other means, tnAchieves will pick up the last dollar. So we were worried, would we get 500 students? We certainly exceeded that and grew from that point. And actually, I went on my MBA program. We went on and did another project a couple of years later when it started being tnAchieves, under the role of a mentor. Who is a mentor? What does a mentor do? How do you keep students engaged and follow and work through with them? So that's kind of been the background that I started on, and then uh, later became a mentor myself. I said, gee, that's so exciting. I'm going to be one myself for Campbell County, and dearly love Campbell County. I lived on Norris Lake in East Tennessee, and the people are just superb along. I think I did a little quick count. I think there's like, in my 8 years, like 59 students that I've had the pleasure of collaborating with. And I do view it as strictly a collaboration. Oh, gee, that's a tough question. I try to never give people advice. I find it always interesting. People typically start out with a student of, what do you want to do? And a lot of students don't know. I think if you can phrase that question a little bit different and say, when you look out at some point in the future, you're 17, 18 years old now, when you see that really there's going to be a real old age called 30 someday, or 35, where do you want to live? What kind of house do you want to have? What kind of car you want to drive? What kind of reputation are you building? So if you frame it around that, is the goals will come clearer to you. So let's see what else I was going to say to you. The advice. Don't know that it's advice, but I just think, mentor, what I've learned over the years, that I would have been much better off if I'd had my academic experience, the years I was on the faculty at UT full time, had I been that reverse and then gone into the corporate world. Because I've learned so much about how we as students learn and how we grow, and I'm still learning today, even though I'm returning. It's just try to listen to the students, try to understand where they're coming from. I find it's helpful to be very tolerant. I find it's very helpful to be very humble and try to think about it. One time you were 17 as a mentor, you were 17, 18 years old, and where were you? What were you doing? What was going through your mind? And chances are things have changed somewhat today, but back on here I am 76 years old and still enjoy every morning what I do here and thinking about what was on my mind when I was 17 years old. And then I was fortunate enough to have some people care enough about me to engage with me and help me think that through and develop those high standards. So, try to set some standards for yourself, and where do you want to be in that long time away of 25 or 30 years old? You want to be a college graduate? What kind of career do you want to have? How do you want to be known as? How much money you want to make? How many cars you want to have? You put it like that, and then what do you like to do? Work is, we're all aiming towards successful careers, which requires work. And so what do you enjoy doing? If you enjoy working with your hands, then follow a career that works with your hands. If you enjoy working alone and being by yourself, there's certain careers for that. If you enjoy enabling others and motivating others, then there's jobs for that. I just, like this year, I've got 10 students, and I'm sure most all of us have 10, and I've reached out to parents first, is recommended. First off, let me just say this, the staff is amazing. Tyler and his whole team, you guys are amazing, and you enable us to be very successful in what we're doing. So the suggestions were reach out to the parents, did that, reach out to the students through email, then follow up with text, did that. Only heard back from one so far, but just be patient. And things are not going to go as quick as you can, but be there when they need you. And we're there for the students. I think we need to make sure that they understand, if I'm going to help you translate from where you are now in the classroom, high school senior, to a successful journey of career, you need to engage with me. We need to collaborate together. But trust is a pretty powerful thing. We've got to earn trust. I always tell the students, by the way, you shouldn't trust me until you got to earn trust, and you learn trust through experience. By the way, you need to know I don't trust you because I don't know you, and so I respect you as who you are, and you should mutually respect me because of my position. But we got to earn trust through experience. And so always behave in a trustworthy manner as one of my coaching points to my students, one of my mentorship points I make.